Welcome to Narrator Stories Recaps. Today, we're covering the extraordinary 2012 movie Ega, directed by the brilliant S.S. Rajamouli. This film tells the story of a man reincarnated as a fly, seeking revenge on the man who killed him. It's a thrilling mix of action, creativity, and determination, with the most unlikely hero, a housefly. Let's dive into this unique and unforgettable tale of love, revenge, and survival. The story begins with Sudeep, a powerful industrialist who never misses a shot, both in business and with women. At the shooting range, he seduces a woman, showcasing his charm and confidence. His business partner, Aditya, tries to remind him about an important meeting, but Sudeep is too arrogant to care. After all, nothing ever goes wrong for him later. At a lavish party celebrating his company's anniversary, a seemingly difficult client hands Sudeep a gift. After signing a deal, as Sudeep opens it, his eyes land on the client's wife, the same woman he seduced at the shooting range. It turns out Sudeep closed the deal by playing dirty, seducing the man's wife to get what he wanted. His wealth, we soon discover, was built on blood. He murdered his wife years ago to take over her successful business empire. Meanwhile, we meet Bindu, a talented miniature artist who is dedicated to her craft and her NGO, Project 551, which helps underprivileged children. Bindu's next-door neighbor, Nani, is deeply in love with her and always ready to help. One night, when the power goes out, Nani improvises a light so Bindu can finish her tiny sculpture. Despite his sweet efforts, Bindu barely acknowledges him, much to Nani's friend's annoyance. As fate would have it, Bindu's NGO is running low on funds, and a friend suggests she ask for help from none other than Sudeep. The moment he lays eyes on her, he's captivated by her beauty. Distracted by lust, Sudeep writes a hefty check without even caring about her cause. Days later, as they distribute books to children, Sudeep invites Bindu to lunch, trying to woo her. But during the meal, Bindu gets a text from Nani, who's been watching her from across the restaurant. Her eyes keep drifting to Nani, completely ignoring Sudeep, bruising his massive ego. Sudeep's frustration grows when he discovers Bindu meeting Nani later. Enraged by jealousy, Sudeep decides to eliminate the competition. That night, he sends thugs to kidnap Nani. They beat him senseless before Sudeep arrives to finish the job. As Nani takes his final breath, he vows to protect Bindu, even in death. Moments later, Bindu calls Nani to confess her love, but it's too late. Nani is dead, but death isn't the end for Nani. His spirit glows and enters a nearby fly's egg, giving birth to a tiny but determined reincarnation. Nani, now a fly, initially struggles to accept his new form but quickly remembers his purpose: revenge on Sudeep. At first, he can barely make a dent in Sudeep's life, but with persistence, he starts driving the man to the brink of insanity. As he rises above the rushing water, a powerful realization hits him: he's not just an ordinary fly. The world appears in vivid detail through his compound eyes, every movement around him sharp and clear. His newfound vision allows him to see the tiniest particles in the air, the smallest vibrations of danger, and the vastness of his new world. He is no longer human, but in this fragile new form, Nani has a new perspective and a renewed purpose. His memories of Sudeep come rushing back in full force. The pain of betrayal, the love for Bindu, and the rage at his murder all collide. With his wings now strong and his vision sharper than ever, Nani realizes he has been given a second chance, not as a man, but as a fly. And with this new life comes a single burning goal: revenge. Sudeep, sensing an opportunity to get closer to Bindu, asks the heartbroken woman to accompany him to New Delhi to meet the education minister. He convinces her that if she can impress the minister with a presentation about her NGO, it might gain national recognition and much-needed support. Meanwhile, Nani, the fly, is devising a plan to stop Sudeep and prevent Bindu from going to Delhi with him. He knows he has to act fast and use his new form to its fullest advantage if he's going to protect Bindu and get his revenge on Sudeep. Nani the fly becomes Sudeep's worst nightmare, buzzing around him relentlessly, disrupting his peace at every turn. Sudeep tries everything to get rid of the insect, but his attempts to swat it away fail, and the sleepless nights begin to take a serious toll on him. Exhausted, he finally wraps himself in a bedsheet, hoping to get some rest. But just as he drifts off, Bindu calls, asking, "Sir, where are you?" Sudeep, startled and hesitant, realizes he's running late for their flight to Delhi. He quickly rushes out of bed and heads for the airport. However, Nani, determined to stop him, follows closely behind, buzzing around and causing chaos. As Sudeep drives through the city, Nani strategically disrupts a traffic signal, creating an impossible traffic jam. Cars are stuck, no one can move, and Sudeep finds himself trapped in the mess. Frustrated, he abandons his vehicle and rushes to his friend's shop, where he borrows another car, determined to make it to the airport in time. But Nani is far from done. As soon as Sudeep starts driving the new car, Nani makes his move, flying in through the window and getting dangerously close to Sudeep's eyes. The distraction causes Sudeep to lose control of the car, leading to a near-fatal accident. The car crashes, and as Sudeep is trapped in his seat, Nani writes a chilling message in the dust on the windshield: "I will kill you." Sudeep, now in shock, starts to question his sanity. How could a mere fly be this relentless? Shaken but alive, Sudeep survives the crash. But Nani's message is clear: this is only the beginning. The fly's thirst for revenge is far from over. Meanwhile, Nani, still protecting Bindu, finally reveals his true identity to her. Overcome with shock and disbelief, Bindu stares in awe as the fly, which had been by her side all this time, writes in a teardrop that has fallen onto the table, spelling out the words, "I am Nani." Bindu is stunned, her heart breaking as she realizes that the soul of her beloved Nani has been reincarnated into this tiny creature. Tears flow down her face as she asks, trembling, "How did this happen? How did you die?" Nani responds with sorrow but determination. "Sudeep killed me because of you," he says, his voice full of emotion even in his current form. The revelation sends a wave of guilt and anger through Bindu, but Nani reassures her that they will have their revenge. Fueled by a shared pain and righteous fury, Bindu and Nani form a plan to take down Sudeep once and for all. Together, they are ready to fight back, using all the cleverness, strength, and love they have left. Using her miniature art skills, Bindu creates tiny armor and tools to aid Nani in his mission. Sudeep tries to kill Nani by hitting him, but Bindu's mask protects Nani. Nani teases Sudeep while he's working out at the gym. As Nani gets closer, Sudeep feels a lot of pain. Bindu has trained Nani well for his revenge. Nani tries to kill Sudeep in many ways, such as by burning his house. Sudeep buys fly poison, but Nani takes it without harm. Sudeep becomes frustrated because he can't even eat peacefully at the same time. Nani comes up with an idea and shares it with Bindu. Bindu collects gunpowder from firecrackers and tests it, making sure it works like a gun. Nani fills the powder into Sudeep's toy cannon. Sudeep sees this but underestimates the danger, thinking Nani won't survive. He tries to kill Nani by locking the cannon's mouth, but Nani survives, and the plan fails after that. Sudeep moves to a much safer place, but Nani still manages to get in. Nani shares his problem with Bindu, who sneaks into Sudeep's house. Sudeep is surprised but tries to take advantage of the situation. However, Bindu loosens a screw using a coin, and within minutes, Nani attacks Sudeep with a blade, causing him to bleed. Bindu then asks, "Can we leave now?" But Sudeep throws Bindu out of his house. Despite all of Sudeep's wealth and resources, Nani's clever tricks push him deeper into despair. His business collapses, his wealth burns to ashes, and the once mighty Sudeep is reduced to a paranoid wreck. Humiliated at every turn. In the next scene, Sudeep attends an important meeting for a 2,000 crore project. Nani arrives and causes chaos, questioning Sudeep's business. In an attempt to attack Nani, Sudeep accidentally harms the investors. Furious, they cancel the project on the spot. Following this, an income tax raid reveals black money hidden in the company's locker. Sudeep, in a panic, tries to open it, but Nani interferes, causing Sudeep to enter the wrong password multiple times. Frustrated, Sudeep uses a welding machine to force the locker open, but Nani's meddling causes sparks that ignite the locker, burning all of Sudeep's black money. Desperate, Sudeep consults a sorcerer, who informs him that Nani is taking revenge. The sorcerer sends 2 evil spirits to kill Nani, but Nani survives, killing the spirits, who crash into the electric switchboard and cause a fire. Though the house is locked, Nani manages to escape the next day. Sudeep's friend notices his stress and asks, "What's going on? What are you doing?" Sudeep tells him everything, but no one believes him. Later, Sudeep discovers that a screw is loose in his house and checks the CCTV footage. He sees Bindu sneaking in and realizes she's helping Nani. Enraged, Sudeep kidnaps Bindu and threatens Nani. Now, Nani confronts Sudeep directly. Sudeep tries to crush Nani, but Nani uses a sharp needle to injure him. Seeing Nani wearing smart glasses, Sudeep tries to shoot him with a cannon. However, Nani interferes, and the cannon misfires. Nani finds an iron ball and attacks Sudeep. The ball misses but hits a wire, causing a fire. The ceiling lights fall, shattering and damaging Sudeep's face. Nani then tries to strike with a needle, but Sudeep grabs a magnet, Deflecting the attack in a final confrontation, Sudeep captures Nani and clips his wings, mocking him cruelly. But Nani has one last plan. He coats himself in gunpowder, flies through a flame, and launches himself into the cannon, delivering a fatal blow to Sudeep. The shot hits Sudeep, and the explosion engulfs his mansion in flames, marking his downfall. In the closing scene, Bindu is driving when a man catcalls her. Before he can react, Nani, now reincarnated as a fly again, swoops in and stabs him with a needle, proving that no one messes with Bindu. That's the recap of Iga, a unique story of revenge, love, and creativity, directed by S.S. Rajmouli. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Narrator Stories Recaps for more movie recaps. See you in the next one.